Hey babes, welcome back for another episode of the Babe That's Bonkers podcast. I'm your host, Kaylee. So happy to be here, so happy to have you here. Today is going to be a fun, wonderful, beautiful day. It actually is a really beautiful day outside today. Lovely morning. This is like the perfect time for me to record. I have a lovely amount of energy. The earth is like lit up outside. I'm feeling good today. Feeling good. So we're going to be doing a bit of an astrology deep dive, if you will. Astrology 101 for babes or something like that. But this is going to be a little series, and today the main focus is going to be on the zodiac signs and just some like introductory keywords to like make it all make sense, essentially. So I'm going to be learning alongside with you guys, so give me a grain of salt. Feel free to comment any thoughts or corrections that are to be made down below. You know, this is an open conversation. I have been doing a wee bit of research, but I am learning alongside with you guys. I'm just, including the people of the interwebs on my journey, the babes of the world who are interested in astrology, the zodiacs, and whatnot, just like whatever witchy-woo things you're interested in. And this could be just for funsies, because it's interesting, or this could be like a new element of a spiritual practice for you to explore. So, take what resonates with you. That is the theme of, I think, all of these different like astrology, tarot, numerology, all these different like spiritual practices and elements. I think that is the key. Take what resonates with you, leave behind what doesn't. Everything is symbolic at the end of the day, subjective. So we're just gonna dive right in. So we're gonna go over a few different little like keyword definitions and whatnot. First up is zodiac. So in astronomy, the zodiac belt is this area of our solar system within the universe or whatever that includes all the different paths that the sun, the moon, and the major planets take, and it's divided into like 12 different sections. So those are where like the different zodiac constellations exist, and it's in a specific order of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So those are the different zodiac constellations. They exist within our solar system, and they kind of act as markers for all the different like planets and elements of our solar system and like where they're at in their journey on their path and whatnot. But so those are the different zodiac constellations, and your zodiac sign reflects like where the sun was at your time of birth. So when someone says like sun sign, star sign, that's what they mean. And all the different zodiac signs are named after the zodiac constellations, one and the same. And your sun sign is one of the big three that you may have heard of. So there's your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. So your sun sign or star sign is like your main zodiac sign, the position where the sun was at whenever you were born. And that's kind of like your archetype, I guess you could say. It like determines your ego, your identity, and like overall role in life to a degree. We're all still unique individuals, but that's just like the general vibe, you could say. But then we have our moon sign, which is kind of our emotional self. It rules over like our moods, our feelings, and reflects like how we think of ourselves in a way. And your moon sign is determined by the position of the moon in the sky at your time of birth. And the third is your rising sign. It can also be called like your ascendant, and it's determined by the zodiac that was on like the eastern horizon at your time of birth. And this one kind of represents your outward persona, kind of how you present yourself to people, or like are seen from like an outward perspective. And each of these zodiac are related to one of the like 4 core elements. So if you think back to your avatar days, we've got air, earth, fire, and water. And each of the zodiac signs kind of embodies these different elements, and we'll get into it. So the element of air in itself represents vitality, movement, communication, intelligence, and like sharp thinking. And it can seem kind of fickle, the breezes just kind of like doing its thing, but it actually at its core represents like power and ignition in its purest form. When you like think about how air might be affecting the other elements, air kind of like fans the flames of fire, makes it more powerful. Air, contributes to the movement of water. And also like the growth of Earth's life forms. If you think about how like the wind can like carry the pollen in the air and like aids in that process, like that's pretty cool to think about. So in this sense, the element of air kind of represents the movers and the shakers of the world, which is very cool. So the 3 air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. They all kind of share similar traits in the sense of, they can be quick-witted, maybe a bit sarcastic, definitely the intellectual type, and, they are stellar communicators. At the end of the day, they just at least have this, like, way with words, and they thrive in, like, social environments, collaborative environments, just, like, teamwork is kind of their zone. Next up, we have the element of earth. And this is where it's like really starting to click for me personally. Like when you think of the different elements, like what traits do they have just like as elements? And like, can those traits be then transferred to us as people? Whenever I start thinking of the earth just as like an element in itself, I think of rocks, I think of soil, and like these things can be fertile and rich and, yield like tons of abundance in terms of just like things to like sustain us in our lives. But it can also be like harsh and rough and like completely unyielding at other times. But, words like grounded definitely come to mind. And all of this plays into the earth sign zodiacs, which are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So the 3 of them kind of embody that like grounded, replenishing, steadfast nature of the earth elements. You could say they definitely value like stability and security and like ensuring that they're secure. And when you think of like plants growing in the garden and whatnot, they take the time to like develop roots and like truly like ground themselves and provide themselves with like a strong foundational structure before they give themselves the opportunity to like bloom and shine and flower and fruit and whatever else that they have to offer. And I think all of these little metaphors can definitely play into different people's personalities, or at least like aspects of them. And next we have the element of fire. This gets me extra excited because I personally am a fire sign. So that's just like what I feel drawn to and related to, and also just like know the most about, because I think I've mentioned, I've only really read like my horoscope for the most part, sometimes like friends or like my partners or whatever. But like, especially just growing up, reading the newspaper, there were like all the different like comics, and then there was like the word searches, crossword puzzles, the games, and then there was the horoscopes. And I read mine. Why would I read all of them to see what everyone else is doing? Like, that's just too much information, and it's not even like applicable to me. So like, I just passed on that for the majority of my life. But now I want to know about all of them so I can like see what the people are when I'm out and about. See if I can guess, if I can start reading people a little bit better. And just because it's interesting at the end of the day, like, the stars are cool. How could you not? They make different like shapes and patterns and pictures. Like, that's wild. That's amazing. And yeah, the symbolism's just super interesting. So anywho, I'll stop yapping and we'll just jump in to the element of fire. So the element of fire is both, hot and dry, and kind of similar to wind. It is very energetic. It is very powerful. It has this like sense of strength about it, and there's this like element of ignition within it as well. And by nature, fire is both a force of creativity as well as a force of destruction, which is kind of what leads it to like having that same like mover shaker energy that the wind element kind of brings to the world, with like an added warmth and intensity. The 3 fire signs of the zodiac are Leos, Aries, and Sagittarius. So when it comes to the fire signs, they definitely embody that like blazing, fierce, energetic, like tenacious energy. There's a lot of passion in the different things that they do, the activities that they want to like spend their energy on. And when you think of fires, you know, they can easily go out of control. But if you think of a candle, it has, you know, structure, and that's kind of like a really good metaphor for how like structure and routine can really help fire signs like channel their inner flame, make it last longer, make the most of their fire. And I think that is just like a really, really cool metaphor. Like you can either be the candle that is controlled and efficient and smells amazing and looks beautiful and like you get the benefits of the fire, or you can be like a campfire per se, controlled, warm, intense, fierce, but also like providing benefit and warmth and whatnot, and you know, the opportunity for like the creation of meals and whatever. And for like some like aspects of nature, you know, some trees, you know, require like there to be fire for like seeds to properly germinate and stuff like that, which I think is just like super duper cool in nature, kind of a tangent. But you know, fire can also be crazy destructive. That is super duper relevant with like things that have happened recently in the world, like sending all the love to California and living in Arizona. You know, fires are also super relevant here, and you know, they can get wild, crazy, out of control, and that can be really dangerous and destructive. So there's definitely like two sides to this coin in a way, and again, like all metaphorical, figurative, but yeah, structure can definitely help. And I definitely feel that as like a fire sign. I can be very like ADD all over the place, and when I provide myself with like structure and routine and I try to like build up good habits, so it's like it's easier to just like make the better choices, I'm able to like really focus my energy on the things that I'm like really passionate about. Otherwise I'm just like freaking scatterbrained all over the place. I can't think. The other day when I was like really procrastinating recording, I think it's because like I let the house like be a mess. I didn't like make the bed first thing in the morning, and then that just makes the whole house, because the whole house is essentially just like the bedroom or little living room, tiny kitchenette, whatever. And so like the bed is really just like a huge chunk of the space. So when it's messy, everything feels messy and everything's chaotic, and I can't think in a space like that. So I definitely agree as a fire sign that like structure and routine are super duper important, you know. I'm going to try to be a candle, embrace my inner candle. Our next little keyword is modality. It can also be used interchangeably, I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, with the word quadruplicity, but that one's a little harder. Modality just like feels more simple, more in my vocabulary, so we're gonna go with that for today. But just like we can group the zodiac signs by like elements, we can also group them by their modalities. So there are three modalities. There's cardinal, fixed, and mutable, and they're essentially just like another set of qualities and characteristics. So whenever zodiac signs, you know, might have different elements but still have like overlapping, you know, aspects of their character, it's probably because they share the same modality. So the first one is cardinal. These are, you know, kind of the doers of the world, the visionaries, the self-initiating, self-starter type, very, very driven. And the four cardinal zodiacs would be Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So the second one is fixed, and they're kind of exactly the way you think they were. Like they're very inflexible, rooted and firm in their beliefs. You know, when like the things happen, they're less likely to like adapt to what's going on. They're much more likely to like stand firm and stay stubborn as long as like that's what aligns with their personal preferences and like what they believe in. Very, very focused overall. And the four fixed signs would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So the third modality is mutable, and these signs are kind of the exact opposite. You know, they are very flexible, very dynamic, the go with the flow type, very adaptable, kind of like chameleons, you know, definitely has that ability to like shift from environment to environment. And they also have that ability to like stimulate and alchemize like a stagnant environment So that's kind of like the change that they bring to the table. And the 4 mutable signs would be Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So cardinal, the movers, the shakers, the doers, the visionaries, the fixed sign, the people who are rooted, the people who are grounded, very focused, and the mutable, the go with the flow type, the adaptable, the chameleons. I think that's kind of how I'm going to try to remember them as. And I feel like it really, really makes sense because, especially just thinking about my partner and I, we're both fire signs, but we do have different modalities. I am a fire sign and cardinal, and he's a fire sign and mutable, and he is much more go with the flow than I am. I can definitely see that. So before we start deep diving into like all the different zodiacs and like their own like more specific characteristics, we're going to talk about like yang and yin energy, masculine and feminine energy. So in ancient Chinese philosophy, yang represents divine masculine energy and yin represents divine feminine energy. And it's all supposed to like represent like nature's duality of like the light and dark, day and night, fire and water type thing. So the yang masculine energy is kind of associated with daytime. It's dry, it's hot, it's also very active, service oriented, and providing. The masculine signs that kind of fit into this are the ones of fire and air. You might have noticed that they had some of those like overlapping qualities of, you know, being like movers and shakers, doers and whatnot, kind of the igniters. So these zodiac signs of the fire and air energy definitely have that like masculine energy of just like being a doer, kind of, you know, the leaders and supporting roles. If you're the fire sign, you know, you possess that like passionate, assertive nature. And if you're a wind sign, it's kind of more that like reflective, logical, analytical state. All in all, both are very direct, collaborative, and expressive. And also at the end of the day, it doesn't matter like what your gender is. Everyone possesses both feminine and masculine energy. These signs kind of just like dictate what you might have more of, what might like naturally flow from you a little bit more. And that has zero determination on nature. It shows if you have more yin or more yang, and like what you might need to like balance yourself out a little bit more. On the flip side, with the yin feminine energy, it represents kind of like the quiet darkness of nightfall. So overall just like soft, receptive, gentle energy. So the yin feminine signs include those of the earth and water elements. You know, they're a bit more gentle, wise, artistic, healing. Earth signs might possess a bit more of like an inner strength, inner discipline, while water signs might be more in like a reflective, fluid, go with the flow state. And it's also not to say that you can't like embody any of these qualities if it's like not your sign. Like you can still be plenty of characteristics as a human that are outside of your zodiac. The whole purpose of this is just like patterns have been studied over years and years and years and years, and this just might give you insight onto, you know, what you might be able to like predict and expect from yourself and your life, and like what comes naturally to you and what you might like have to like work a little bit harder at. I don't think that any of this stuff is supposed to feel like, I don't know, rules or the law or something that's like super like pressured and weighted. Like this is all just supposed to be fuel for like introspection and reflection. Honestly, the fact that this has taken this long makes me think that I'm going to turn this into a 2-part episode. I think we've gone over a lot of different keywords today, and I do feel like I understand how the zodiacs are kind of like spaced out and designed a little bit better. I do think that perhaps next week or the week after, we will follow up with a part 2 of all the different like specific zodiacs and, you know, their own like traits, the planets, houses, all that stuff that they like relate to and all that jazz. But I do want this to be a series, so there's going to be like a lot of astrology information coming out of me in this podcast, and I'm very excited about it. But I don't want to like give you too much all at once. You know, we should take the time to digest what we just learned. You know what I mean? And yeah, next week we can just like focus solely on the zodiacs. Was just perhaps a little bit overly ambitious of myself, or maybe I just didn't realize how long it would take me to like figure all this out, but it's okay. It's okay. It's been a fun time. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the life updates. I had a wonderful, lovely, amazing paint session yesterday. Yesterday was one of those days where it's like I had things to do, things that like had to get done, and then there were the things I wanted to do, and I was like, this is gonna be my reward. Once I finish all of my chores, I can do my painting and it'll be a lovely balanced day. And I almost thought I wasn't gonna make it. It was like the end of the day was creeping up. My partner was about to come home and I hadn't like set anything up yet, but I did indeed end up finishing laundry and dishes, and that was very fulfilling and a wonderful accomplishment. And then I got to paint and I attempted like a warm-up. Usually I kind of just like go for it, but I'm trying to like really hone in my practice, and so I attempted a warm-up, did it on like paper rather than like a canvas, and frankly, I think I liked the warm-up better than the canvases I painted. I did like them all. There were none that I wasn't, like there wasn't any that I was unhappy with, which was wonderful, because the last time I painted, I just did like one painting, I think, and I wasn't a fan, but it's fine. I can always come back to it and make changes to it and make it cool or something like that, but we'll see another day. But yeah, I think with the warm-up, I just let myself be a little bit more free and play around a little bit more. Like I was using a sheet of paper I got from the dollar store, so a lot less like hanging in the balance than like one of my canvases that feels, I don't know, like more. But I think I also painted on canvases from the dollar store, not like the nice ones I've ordered. But yeah, it was just wonderful to make progress. I have just like a certain idea of a collection in my head, and all the little steps I'm taking towards like creating it have been very, very fulfilling, and I'm very excited to like get to the end one of these days. But I'm also just trying to like enjoy the journey and be patient with it. Like there's no rush. Like who's out there giving me a deadline right now? No one, just me. So why torture myself like that when I could just attempt to be more go with the flow? Maybe I could learn a thing or two from my Sagittarius partner, apparently. But yeah, it was really wonderful. And the past like couple weekends I've just been spending a lot more time with myself doing my hobbies, like for like short bursts, and it has been really, really wonderful. I just feel so energized, I feel so fulfilled, and I just need to keep on keeping on, you know, going outside and taking pictures and painting and just doing all the things I know are good for me and make me happy, so I don't get espresso depresso again. But, you know, life is ever-changing and has a mind of its own. The universe has a plan, and I trust in that. But yeah, just enjoying the waves that I'm riding right now. They feel, I was about to say less chaotic, but I don't think that's true. I feel very busy. I feel like my life is very chaotic these days, but I feel very balanced. I feel like the amount of time and energy that I'm putting into my job and putting into like my hobbies / myself, and then also putting into like my house, dogs, partner, friendships, like everything's just like balancing out to like match like what I have the capacity for, and to like feel that and experience that is weird and foreign and rare, but I'm enjoying being in this place. And I think that is just so important. And you know, maybe that's one of the like good things about being depressed and having like hard seasons of life, is because when life does feel good like it does right now, I am just so much more grateful and appreciative. And you know, it's really just like kicked me into gear of just like being incredibly intentional with my time. Like I'm so tired of fucking wasting my time being sad and not having energy. So I've been working on those two things, doing the things that I think will give me more energy, which for the most part they have. Being outside, getting sunshine and fresh air, eating more fruits and vegetables, caffeine also. All those things have definitely given me more energy. Sleep is still an issue for me at the moment. I'm just like struggling with it. I don't know. It just happened like a few days ago, but we'll figure it out. Nothing some CBN gummies can't fix perhaps, but I also just like don't want to be reliant on anything to get good sleep. I just want to train my body to like accept it. Like just stay asleep. Get all your sleep cycles done. Like what are you doing? This is the time that we have. But I don't know. We'll keep working on that. But that turned into like a huge, very personal tangent, but that's okay. That's what this podcast is. Speaking of doing the things that I know are good for me, I've also been like actually working out. And when I say that, I mean I've worked out twice recently. I'm like batching these episodes weird. So I actually recorded episode 15 before this one, and then Valentine's Day one I'm going to record tomorrow because I didn't have any like cute Valentine's-y clothes I felt like wearing today ready. So I'll do that tomorrow. But so like I went to the gym with my partner the other day. We're going to try to make it a regular thing. And then this morning when I was doing my like stretches, like I try to keep it very low key, low expectations of myself. I just want to like move my body first thing in the morning. So I've just been like stretching, and I can always like ramp it up or ramp it down depending on like how much energy I have. And apparently today I had a lot of energy because I went through my whole like stretching routine, and then I added on some a little workout circuit, like something very simple, body weight, whatever, but like exactly what I need is someone who hasn't worked out in a bit and is just kind of like out of the groove of things, mildly out of shape, not entirely, but like kind of. I feel like my muscles are lacking in the strength department, and at least compared to like what they once were at a time, which there's no need for me to compare myself against me. Actually, isn't that like a quote that the only person you should compare yourself to is yourself, so you can like be better than the version of the self you were yesterday? But the better version of me I'm going to be today is a version that doesn't dwell on the me that I once was and the strength that I once had and the muscles I once had and whatever, because that doesn't matter, because I'm here as me today and I need to work on that. But that's been nice to move a little. I'm already sore. I'm probably going to regret it so hard tomorrow. I did like Bulgarian split squats. I know how hard on myself, but they're going to be very impactful. They're going to help me get stronger so I can, I don't know, climb mountains and shit like that and have fun exploring the wilderness and whatever. But that's been good. You know, working out is never not a good thing. And yeah, I'm glad I am kind of finding little moments to like sneak in more movement so I can like work towards these goals, because I do still feel like I want to enter like my grind era. I really want to start like weight training. Like I want to become like a fitness girly, but I'm like running out of time and energy to like plan doing that, because all of my time and energy has been going into like trying to balance my work and like my home chores and my like hobbies. Like I'm really trying so hard with all of my like podcast, photography, art stuff. And again, like I said, it's been wonderful, but I'm like, where do I have the time to like also like plan more workouts and like do more? Like I feel like I'm at capacity at the moment, and I do want more for myself, but I just need to be patient, I think, and like let the conditioning kick in. As I was saying, like we went through Hell Week, right? It was rough because we were doing all these things that we weren't used to doing, and it's just like hard to implement new habits. But now we're kind of past that, and we're like into the groove of just like being more active, doing more things, taking more steps towards the goals, right? And now I want to be like a mile in front of where I am, but I just need to keep taking these baby steps, because that's how we avoid burnout, is baby steps, baby rests, lots of breaks. Baby steps and breaks prevent burnout. So that's what I'm trying to like focus on. But yeah, I'm an imperfect human being, so we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you posted or whatever. A little food update though, something that was really, really lovely, and that I think my partner and I will like try to keep doing more often, but my partner and I have been cooking more chicken in bulk, just kind of like meal prepping. I've kind of mentioned that, but last time he did it, which was really nice, and he barbecued it, and we just have like all these like barbecue chicken thighs that are so flavorful that I've been, you know, just like taking apart. And I made a chicken quesadilla yesterday, and it was so delicious because it has that like charred barbecue flavor, and it was so easy, so simple. I was just using things that we already had. It was just quick, and it was so fulfilling, like lots of protein, very protein hearty. Like I shoved a whole chicken thigh inside a quesadilla. Like that's pretty crazy, but also so good for my body. And I do think that's why I do feel a little bit better, as I've been trying to eat more protein. See, I am making progress in the health department. It is just even babier steps than I want to be taking, but they'll still get me to the place I want to be. So yeah, just got to keep on keeping on. But yeah, lots of protein in that meal. It was really lovely. And yeah, I love having a bunch of chicken just on hand. We can do whatever with it. I was like, I can make like a barbecue chicken salad, like shred it up, throw in some like cheese and barbecue sauce, and like make a sandwich with that. And that would probably be so delicious. Or I could like make a salad if I had salad stuff, which I don't, so I won't be doing that today. But next time, like it's really endless opportunities. And I used to sometimes buy like the grilled chicken strips from Trader Joe's whenever I was a single girl and I was lazy, and you know, I consumed less food, so I spent more money for convenience on stuff like that. But now there's more of us, so we gotta spend a little bit less money so we can get more out of it, and all of us can be well nourished, right? But I used to just like always have those grilled chicken strips on hand, and it was so easy to just like make little salads all the time and whatever. And now we're just doing the from scratch version of that, which is lovely. And now we can like switch up the like flavors. Like I'm planning on doing some with some like honey mustard marinade, and I'm very excited because I think that'll just like go fantastic with like a Cobb salad type thing. Minus the blue cheese, probably goat cheese instead of blue cheese. Just my own personal preference. I have also been doing a little bit more baking. I made some brownies, then I also made some blondies. Maybe I mentioned this. I don't think I did though. But yeah, I made blondies from scratch for the first time, and they were absolutely delicious, and it's making me want to be the kind of person who just like bakes a little something once a week again. I mean, not that I ever actually did it once a week, but I used to bake pretty frequently just to have like fresh little treats on hand. And I think I'm going to start doing that again because I'm really tired of like buying unhealthy desserts from the store. And if I make it myself, it suddenly feels like it's not unhealthy anymore. And I love a little treat. I love a little dessert. I deserve them. So I should make them. And they bring me a lot of joy. So that's how I plan to live my life moving forward when I have the energy. So if you have any fun little super easy, see, that's why I like the brownies, is because with cookies you have to like shape them and whatever, like there's multiple steps. The brownies, you whip up your mixture, you pour it in, you stick it in the oven. That's why I really love the blondies as well. So I definitely want to do more just like bar type things. Yeah, easy peasy is what I'm looking for. Delicious, kind of healthy, at least like from scratch, wholesome ingredients. Those are the plans in the food department. Alrighty, that's enough ranting and rambling as far as the life updates go. I am just skipping the astrology thoughts today because we had loads of them. That's like the whole center of the episode. I'm also just like batching this a few weeks early, so I don't have like the relevant information of what, you know, might be like coming out soon these days. So if you're interested in what the moon is up to these days, do some research and let me know this time. Let's switch things up this week. So I think that brings us to our tarot pool to wrap things up officially. I've got my wilderness deck out today, just trying to like alternate them, you know, to just give both of them some love on a regular basis. I was also using this deck earlier to do some personal reflection, and I don't know, I wasn't really like feeling the vibes. I felt like I don't know, maybe I'm just being closed-minded and I'm just not feeling like accepting to the message that the cards were trying to give me. But I don't know. It was just kind of, it was a so-so reading. It didn't make me feel like, yes, like that's what I needed to hear. But it also wasn't like, that absolutely makes no sense and is completely irrelevant. But I don't know. I just wanted to use this deck again. A, because we did the other one last week. And B, because I just... Whoop! Oh, I just lost so many cards. Well, we're going to have a doozy of a reading right now. They all wanted to come out. They're like, hey, you wanna read us? You can read us. Alrighty, so I guess we're in for a longer reading today, but that kind of makes me excited. I love it whenever I'm like just shuffling the deck casually and cards just like pop out because they're like, hey, I'm actually the message you need to hear. This deck goes like, quit talking shit. We do have something to say to you. But also to the collective group, I'm so excited. So we are starting off with the upright Wheel of Fortune. I love this art. I want to be this girl in the hot spring in somewhere with beautiful mountains and trees. I also get really excited whenever I get the cards from the major arcana. I don't know what it is about them, but they just feel so special. I guess because there's less of them and it's less likely. And I don't know, they're kind of just like unique, the face, the people cards, versus like the other ones are kind of just, I don't know, a little bit more general. Wheel of Fortune, luck, fate, change, cycles, fate, decisive moments, luck, fortune, unexpected events. The Wheel of Fortune turns evermore seemingly to communicate that life is made up of both good and bad times, and that the cycle is one that we cannot control. Upright love meaning, relationship changes, navigating change with partner, making adjustments. Upright career meaning, luck and career, opportunities present, adapting to changes at work. Upright finances meaning, changes in material situation, being flexible with finances. Rapid change will bring new opportunities, and it will make your life better. New circumstances can put an end to past difficulties and herald a period of good fortune and success. Rapid change will bring new opportunities and it will make your life better. New circumstances can put an end to past difficulties and herald a period of good fortune and success. What a lovely, lovely card. I also don't know if I've mentioned, I will try to be better about linking the tarot decks I've been using. This one is by Y Spell. So I just wanted to make sure I'm sharing that, especially since I am, reading from their guidebooks verbatim for us. The next card we have is the Four of Cups. See, and she's got her like 3 down here, and someone's like giving her 1 down from the clouds, but she's not looking at it, but someone's reaching out with a new cup for her while she's contemplating, reading her book, journaling, sitting under a tree with the swings. Beautiful, beautiful. Who doesn't want to be sitting under a tree with some swings? Four of Cups, boredom, stasis, apathy, contemplation, feeling disconnected, melancholy, boredom, indifference, disconnect. The Four of Cups represents boredom, self-isolation, and blockage. The querent may feel dissatisfied with their routine, unmotivated, stuck in a rut. Love meaning, bored with love life, lack of excitement in relationship. Career meaning, bored with job, feeling unhappy with job or career, lack of progress. Finances meaning, feeling disillusioned with money, envious of others. This card signifies that there are opportunities flowing toward the querent, but they have shut themselves off from receiving these gifts. This may be a result of having been hurt or rejected in the past. Something to think about. See, she is just looking away from the offering someone's reaching out to her with. How interesting. Next we have some reverse cards. The reversed Five of Wands. So there's a bunch of folks dancing around these wands. I've noticed the wands, I do believe, are kind of more social, perhaps, as cards go. Again, just a beginner, just learning. Where are the wands? Theme of the Five of Wands card is strong opinions. The Five of Wands symbolize an amicable rivalry that carries a subtle undercurrent of uncertainty. It underscores the need for caution and readiness for a possible shift in the situation, a transition from friendly competition to a more serious conflict. But this card we got was reversed, so let's get on over to that. So, keywords include end of conflict, cooperation, agreements, truces, harmony, peace, avoiding conflict. The Five of Wands reversed indicates that a period of conflict, disagreement, or heightened stress is coming to an end. The querent can breathe a sigh of relief. A stage of compromise and cooperation has been reached. Love meaning, avoiding conflict, trying to keep peace in relationship, resolution. Career meaning, competition or conflict at workplace is resolved, avoiding work conflict. Finances meaning, peace after financial stress, escalation in conflicts about money. The Five of Wands reversed also reminds the querent not to get lost in the comparison game with others. They must stay focused on their own path. That was feeling pretty relevant to today's chats. So thank you for sticking with me with this longer tarot reading. Next up we have the reversed Magician. She's got all of these butterflies flying around here. So cool. So focused on the magic that she's putting out. Butterflies, feathers, leaves, everything floating. Maybe they're petals, a little bit of everything flying in the wind. Beautiful crystal, reversed. The snake at the bottom. You see that snaky snake. Very cool. So the theme of the Magician card. Where is it? Action, ambition, and manifesting. So this is actually the second card in the Major Arcana, right after the Fool. So Magician represents pure willpower. Using the power of the elements and the suits, he transforms the potential of the Fool into reality through the power of his desires, their desires. But we got it reversed. So keywords include manipulation, cunning, trickery, wasted talent, illusion, deception. When you obtain the Magician reversed, it might mean it's time for you to implement some changes. While right side up, the Magician represents true power, the reversed Magician is a master of illusion. Love meaning romantic illusion, romantic trickery, low willpower for love. Career meaning wasted talent, unwillingness to take chances, workplace deception. Financial meaning missed financial opportunity, not using skills for financial gain. Consider whether the reverse Magician is in your circle or whether it might represent your current state of emotions. It may indicate that you are becoming obsessed with power, which could lead to wrong and reckless decisions, eventually leading to your downfall. Something that is important, especially with these Major Arcana cards, is that a lot of the times they do represent people, and that could either be yourself, someone in your life, or, maybe not. Like, these things are incredibly symbolic and subjective, but they do have a little bit more relation to people compared to just like the Minor Arcana cards. And we are finishing up our five card surprise spread today with reversed Queen of Cups. Look at her. I love getting the Queen cards. They are my favorite because they just represent the most beautiful aspects of like our core like feminine energy. Like the Queen of Cups card represents an intuitive woman. However, we got her reversed. The Queen of Cups represents emotions, femininity, and intuition. This card reminds the asker to honor their sensitivity and allow themselves to feel the full spectrum of emotions that make up the human experience. See, and I was kind of talking about that earlier, just how like the low moments make the highs higher. If I wasn't in a funk for a while, I probably wouldn't be so appreciative of what's the opposite of a funk? What's a fun word for that? I'm in a flow, in the flow that I'm in right now. I don't know, it's kind of fun. Fun flow of fun, whatever. You know what I'm saying. However, the reverse card, so keywords include insecurity, giving too much, overly sensitive, needy, fragile, dependence, martyrdom. The Queen of Cups reverse tells the asker to focus on their emotional well-being and treat themselves with love, compassion, and caring. They might be highly sensitive or an empath, always prioritizing the needs of others. Love meaning, a dependent or clingy lover, putting more effort in than partner, overly sensitive lover. Career meaning, emotional exhaustion at work, neglecting your own emotional health for a job. Financial meaning, being too generous, neglecting own financial health for others. This card encourages the asker to take time to listen to their intuition and honor their feelings. They may have trouble expressing themselves and often bottle up their emotions. So I do hope that at least one of those cards resonated with you. If all of them did, then that reading was absolutely for you. I just hope you're able to take something positive, a little thought nugget to reflect upon with you after today's episode. But yeah, it was a super duper fun one. I'm very happy with the rants and rambles we accomplished today. Some good yapping. But yeah, if you want to show the podcast some love, go ahead and subscribe or whatever. Comment any thoughts that you would like to share. I will make sure to respond to you and show you some love back personally. And yeah, I would love if you joined us next week for another episode. We'll probably be doing part 2 of today's astrology deep dive, just really like getting into all the different zodiacs, the 12, how symbolic of a number. That just feels super relevant because I started rewatching the show Killing Eve. It is so good if you love like an action drama, and yeah, it is just such a good show. I think there's a new season that I haven't seen because I have watched it in the past a couple times actually. That's how much I like it. But I think I'm gonna get some new content at the end of this round, and I'm very excited. But in the show there's the 12, so that's why that feels extra relevant. But see, that's why it is just like such a relevant number, the 12 zodiac. How meaningful is that? 12 zodiac, 12 months, 12 hours in a day. 12, such a symbolic number. So yeah, speaking of, I gotta get going at 12. So had a lovely chat with you. This was wonderful. I love you guys. Thank you for your support. And yeah, until next time, bye babes.